Okay, let me have you do, sir.
Gladly.
Serve you right at the table. Thank you. Okay, oh, one thing about rice I wanted to show you guys, too, if you're not positive if it's finished or not, I take something like this and I scrape it back, and you see how that's dry in the middle? There you go. That shows that it's finished. Okay, then I'm going to give you a little bit more. Give you 2 scoops. And this is shrimp with some peanut sauce over rice. Okay. Well, you usually talk.
Oh, I didn't know I was permitted.
You are permitted to talk.
It looks really good and smells good too.
Yeah. Now these have tails on, but you'll forgive me.
I will.
And I did have a little bit of scallion at the end, so that's always fun to do. Okay. There you go.
Looks great.
Ooh, thank you. Oh, and there's extra sauce on the side if you want to.
And chopsticks.
And chopsticks. There you go. I'm making shrimp. They've been out of a lot of different kinds of shrimp that I like from the store. I actually got these at Walmart. And they're the kind that need to be cooked. One time I was at a party and the host actually opened up the bag, rinsed them off, and put them with cocktail sauce. And I was like, these aren't really cooked. And everyone was eating them. But you have to cook these kind. A lot of times I'll see how it says raw. There you go. Okay, so anyway, I'm going to make something like, I don't know if it's really Thai or not, but I think it is. I think it is. You can correct me, right? Okay, but I'm making the sauce, and then I'll make the shrimp, and we'll make some rice. This one's really good. And if you've noticed, a lot of different ethnicities have tons of ingredients in their sauces, even barbecue sauce. I mean, you got like spice after spice. I've noticed that with Indian food, lots of spices, you know, and this one is no exception. Has a lot of them, but you might have all but maybe like one or something on hand. One of my cheap go-to for ginger, if I don't have a fresh little hand of ginger in the freezer, is I'll buy this. Aldi has this on sale this week, in fact. And they have some squeezy garlic or basil or something too. But I don't use this as much, so I keep it in the fridge. So there's that. So the first thing I did was I minced up some garlic and put it in here. I don't want to make the videos too long. So that goes in there. This is such a good sauce. Okay, and I remember years ago thinking, peanut butter, really? Peanut butter in an Asian type of sauce? Yeah, I need more peanut butter. I usually like Jif, but this one will do. I cook with this sometimes too. So I don't know measurements here. I just know I have to have enough to make a nice sauce. So I'm looking at my peanut butter. How about one big glob? We'll call it a glob. One glob of peanut butter with garlic. Who would have thunk it, right? But you've seen peanut sauce with different Asian recipes, I think. Next is soy sauce. I actually bought soy sauce. I bought the inexpensive kind. I'm just cooking with it, making a nice sauce. Okay, so there's garlic and peanut butter. I'm gonna give this a good squeeze, another squeeze. Again, just stir it around. If it's too thick, add more. If it's not, I'm gonna add a couple other liquidy things too. So peanut butter, garlic, and a little bit of the sesame oil goes a long way, but it's got a great flavor. So we're gonna give that 1, 2 and a half of those. Some honey. I like all kinds. I like a lot of different honeys, I should say. But you know how sometimes they'll get all tough in your cupboard if you don't use them. I keep mine usually upside down, but these were up top in my closet or my cupboard. You can dip it in a cup of boiling water and it will come back. You can even microwave it. Honey is, I think, the only food that never goes bad. It'll crystallize, but it never goes bad. They say like they found it with the Egyptians and stuff. So Honey. Yay, honey. But my brother bought me this recently, and it's really good. My brother Bill brought this for me for a no reason gift. Don't you love those the best? And I'm going to give it a squirt of honey. You know what I like about recipes like this? My husband always knows I do. I like the yin with the yang. In other words, something sweet, something salty, something, you know, acidy, which we're going to put in next, which is lime juice. I had to buy this because my lime was too hard. I thought I had it here at home, but isn't my backup, and this works just as good because this is natural. This is the Young Living lime. Ugh, you just need a drop or two. I'm going to give this a little squirt though. Yeah, it's okay in a pinch, right? Give it some lime juice. Okay. And if I wanted, I could put a drop of that, but I'm going to taste it. I'm going to get this going and see if that's enough of a liquid. Now, peanut butter doesn't want to, I should have had a bigger bowl so it doesn't slop around on me. But I happen to be wearing an apron today. What do you think of that? I was making soup, some chicken soup this morning, because I had 2 carcasses that I had used for a dinner. This doesn't look too good. I might need my other whisk. Look at it, looks still all globby. But trust me, this is good. Oh, it smells really intense. We also need some rice vinegar. Some, this brand, it wasn't expensive at all. I think I got this at Walmart too, because I'm out of the other one. So I opened it. A little bit of that. That's enough. Yeah. Let me smell it. What am I predominantly smelling in here? I'm smelling the peanut butter. So that tells me I need a little bit more of this and that. I don't want it to be too peanut buttery. But, and I wish I knew the ratios, but I really don't. I just know I've made it before, and it's really good. Ginger. Ginger's strong, right? I'm going to give it, it's minced up. It's like really mushied up. So I got to watch how much I'm putting into that too. Okay, there we go. For the longest time, I didn't know, well, when I was younger, didn't know what ginger really tasted like. I wasn't exposed to it. And then one time we went to one of those hibachi places, you know, they serve you that little sad salad, lettuce with the dressing, and it was ginger. And I'm like, what is this flavor? I can't identify it. And here it was ginger dressing that they put on it. Ah, now it's starting to smooth out. So, how will I cook my shrimp? I don't know yet, but I know this. I'm going to spice them up first. Oh yeah, look at that. Looks much more runny, if you will, right? And I'll continue. Oh, now it smells good. It smells Asian-y. Whatever that means. So, I don't know how I want my shrimp cooked, but I know that I'm going to spice them heavily. And then I'm going to get a good char on them. And then we'll have rice and this nice sauce to go with it. I'll show you it. I'll show you it. Let me turn this off and keep stirring, stirring, stirring. Okay, I remember the spice I used last time I made. I don't make anything exactly the same every time, but it was pretty close. So I used a chili lime seasoning. What I did was I dried off my shrimp really well. I patted them dry with a paper towel. A couple reasons. So that the spice sticks, but also you don't want them to steam. You want them to sear in the skillet, okay? So I'm heating up that skillet now. And then I looked in my cupboard and I remembered I had bought a couple of leeks. And so what I did was I took one about this size and I slid it down the middle, because sometimes they'll have sand and stuff in them. And you just open it up, and then I cut it like in little half moons. And this is what they look like. I'm going to add that in along the way. Now I have my peanut sauce, and I tasted it and I thought it tasted still a little bit too much like peanut butter. So I put in, what did I put in? I put a little bit more sesame oil in, and I put a little bit more ginger in, and bingo. Oh, and a little dash of honey I started with. and just to get the ratio where I thought this tastes good. That's all it's a matter of. So I'm getting my skillet really hot, and then we're gonna pan saute and use my sauce. I think it's gonna be too thick. We'll see. Can always thin it down, right? So let me turn this down like that. My pan is, I think, hot enough, but you know, I'm gonna do the old water test, okay? See if it dances on the, yeah, I'd say. So, yes, that's now hot enough. Get out of there, I don't wanna get burned. And now I'll put the oil in. I'm gonna use a little bit in the middle, about a 50-cent size, whoops. And then a teeny bit of this. See how it's rippling already? You don't want it to the smoke point, so I gotta put this off the heat a little bit. I'm gonna add the shrimp all in, okay? Yeah, it's a little bit too hot also. See, I talk too much. No comments, please. I'm gonna try not to crowd them. Let them get a good sear. Try not to move them around too much. They have that nice chili lime. Wow, I can smell it already. How about that? Get in there. I want them to like kind of stick a little bit to the skillet so that they leave a little bit of love in the pan, a little bit of brown stuff. Because I turned this down so much, I'll turn it back up a little bit. Okay, and I'm gonna let them cook on the one side. Yep, they smell good. Smells like real shrimp. You know, I maintain the larger the shrimp is that you buy in the store, I'm taking this off because it's like bugging me. Some aprons really just bug me. All right, that feels better. Little shrimp to me don't taste like good shrimp from a restaurant. I maintain the bigger the better, you know? And if you've ever seen on the bags or in the store, here I'm grabbing the bag out of the trash. Like, look, when they say, you know, they're 16.22, that means how many shrimp per pound. But if the count is higher, you know, like if it's 50 count, you know, then the shrimp are going to be littler because it takes 50 of them to make a pound. So these guys were extra large, which is about 25 to 30. Now let me turn them, and they're going to argue with me. They're going to stick a little bit, but see that brown part? And then see this on here? Can you see that? That's what I want. I got to cook them through. Okay? Turn them over. Only take a couple minutes. Remember that little thing I showed? No, that was with the cooked shrimp that I said if they turn into an O, they're overcooked. If they turn into a C, then they're cooked. Now these I left the tails on. I don't usually leave the tails on. I pluck them off. And if they need cleaned, that was always Thane's job to do. I wouldn't even look. I'm like, can you do these? We're having shrimp. So he would clean them out. He did that in a restaurant. He was very good at it. But I'm like, I'll cook them. I'm not cleaning them. It ruins it for me. So they're all turned over. And they're smelling more like shrimp. What do you know? Fancy that. I'm going to take these out, put some aromatics in. This time, I had some scallions. I should have used those. But I saw the leeks and got excited. So I'll be taking these out in a minute. Okay, stay with me. Look how nice my peanut sauce looks now. It's smooth, y'all. Nice and smooth. This looks a little thick, so when it's in there, in that pan, I don't know. I might need a little bit more liquid in there. I don't want to, I'm resisting adding water. But I think I might have to. We'll see. We will see. And how's my shrimp? You know how I test them? I look at them and I taste them. I'm cutting this one open. And I'm touching the inside, first of all. Seeing if it's hot like this. If it's not hot, I know it's not, but this is pretty darn hot. Oh gosh, they're good. They're really good. They'll cook a teeny bit further in the sauce, but I don't want them to cook so much. Oh, I taste the lime on the chili lime seasoning. Very, very nice. Okay, guys, you got to get out of the pot now. Okay. I'm going to dump them on this little bowl here. I'm going to actually add a teeny bit more oil just to start to saute up these. They don't need a lot. They're oniony, like mild oniony. Potato leek soup is one of the best. Okay, and then when I add some liquid, it'll pull all that fond, those little brown bits off the bottom. These are just going to kind of basically get warmed and release their onion. Little kiss of onion in the pan. I've never done this part before with the links and all. It's just always different each time. But the basics are there. Okay, you ready to hear something? I could put white wine in or something. I stand back a little bit. That's simply to just release the stuff off the bottom for the most part. See how that came up? Now I can really smell the onions. What do you know? Okay, and then I'll put these back in and we'll do the sauce. I shouldn't do the sauce till we're ready to eat. But I want to show you. Just something different. Dane always says to me, you'll never make that dish again. I've made the peanut sauce before. But the combination, he'll look at dinner when we're sitting together and he'll go, well, you'll never make this again. And what he means is the combination. Not that it's not good. So back in these go. I'm going to turn that up. It looks pretty, huh? It looks really pretty already. I'm just going to do a dab of the peanut sauce and see how it looks. I'm going to turn this up. Yeah, it'll be good. Okay. A little shrimp. And this will go over my rice. Just let that warm. Basically, that's it. And I like to show you a picture when they're all finished. But, ooh, I started to eat this one, so privileges of the cook. We used to call it quality control in the restaurant. It was like licensed to take a little taste first. So there it is. I don't know if you can see it. There you go. Thanks for watching. And please don't just like watch it. Can you comment so that I know people are watching it? And then people tell me in my private messages, hey, I tried that, or what about this question, or this or that. Do me a favor, comment below the video so that I know that, A, you're watching it, or if you liked it, or whatever. Okay? If you can. Thanks, guys. See you next time.